So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, today we're going to talk about chapter 3 of the spin-off series. Not gonna lie, this series keeps getting better and better with each new chapter. Also, it reminds me of the early Tokyo Revengers series, where they all had so much fun and fought with other gangs. There are so many reasons why you should read the series in my opinion. Because they introduced a new character in the story. There are so many mysteries around that character, as they didn't introduce him in the main story. This is really hilarious and quite an interesting read. And there are so many things happening before the Toman gang was formed. Also, there are so many things that keep happening inside the gang. Even when the Toman gang becomes popular in Japan, makes it so engrossing. Since this series also deeply connects with the Toman gang and its members. Definitely there's a high chance we will see Mikey soon. I'm not sure if they will focus on him. But definitely we will get some information regarding the things going on right now in this series. So many people think Ryushi betrayed Toman. That's why he's not featured in the main story. However, they keep revealing so many things about him. So before we talk more about this chapter, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So at first, we talked about the first 2 chapters of this series in my previous video. If you haven't watched it, I'm giving the link in description. Go check it out. So as we know, Chifu found out that he and Ryushi are studying in the same school. And he didn't like him. Because he was the one who was all the time getting attention from Baji. After all, in the current timeline, Ryushi is Toman's first division vice captain. Chifu started working real hard to become the vice captain. But as long as Ryushi is in the gang, he's the biggest threat for him, as he's strong enough to destroy the whole gang. The chapter starts with Chifu being so frustrated because of him. Because Ryushi literally ruined his plan of destroying the rival gang all alone in last night. Because of that, he didn't even focus on eating his food. All the Toman members were mad at Chifu for acting irresponsibly. But Ryushi acknowledged his strength and let him join the gang once again. But Chifu didn't like him for whatever he did. They not only studied in the same school, but both of them are in the same grade also. Since Baji is also studying in the same school, he thinks he'll get more attention from Baji. But Chifu thinks he's so dangerous. He even don't know why he was thinking like this. But there's something not good about his character. The worst thing about him was his egoism. In the upcoming chapters, they revealed so many secrets about Ryushi's character. Now we see Ryushi is always acting against Baji orders. It makes Chifu think he's so dangerous, yet Baji trusts him so much. Anyway, Chifu was ranting about all these things to his cat called Excalibur. There's a small backstory about his cat. Chifu found this abandoned cat in the streets. And ever since that, he's the one who has been taking care of this cat. Also, there's a small and good twist about this cat in end of this chapter. However, that cat leaves Chifu's house without eating his food. Chifu wonders, perhaps he got food somewhere else. Anyway, this scene shifts to school, and Chifu is still in a bad mood because of Ryushi. But as always, Chifu's friends make him more pissed. They ask him, did something happen? But Chifu asks them if they know about Ryushi. They tell him about him, and it's totally different than what Chifu saw. His friends thinks he's not good at fighting and also he's not a bad guy. But he's very popular among the girls. No one in the school is this much popular and trendy. But Chifu thinks to himself that his friends are a bunch of idiots. As they are unaware of the fact that he can destroy an entire gang by himself. They didn't see the other side of him. All they are familiar with is a school version of him. Also, this scene is so funny. Chifu thinks guys like Baji and Ryushi can pretend to be ordinary students and roam around in this school. So he thinks everyone is in secret a bad guy and they have different personalities outside of this school. Baji and Ryushi are the strongest guys and the gang's president and vice president. They do think they're just a normal student and nothing more than that. While Chifu thinks like this, Ryushi already leaves the school. He didn't tell anyone where he is going. Even Chifu asked him. But he refused and He is shocked to hear his answer as Chifu doesn't believe him. When Chifu looks at him through the window, Ryusi checked if someone follows him from behind, he being so careful about it. He thinks Ryusi hiding something. Chifu starts to think too much, he thinks Ryusi runs his own gang. And he will betray Baji at one point. Chifu cares about Baji so much, so he started to follow him from behind, without anyone knowing. He thinks, even though it's his intuition, he can't ignore him. Then Ryusi suddenly enters a girls-only high school. But as always, Chifu can't help but thinks too much, and he thinks maybe he is involved in some serious crimes related to girls. But when Chifu entered the school, Ryusi wasn't there. And Chifu somehow escaped from girls' school. And he feels so embarrassed that it's totally so funny. However, Chifu found him once again. He started to think, Ryusi knows that I'm following him. It made him look much more suspicious. So Chifu don't want to lose the sight of him, and as he kept thinking, he saw Ryusi entered a ramen shop. Chifu can't go inside the shop with his uniform, since it'll catch Ryusi attention and he'll get know that Chifu was following him the whole time. So Chifu borrows a uniform from someone just to spy Ryusi. This is so hilarious when Chifu acts like this. It truly brings out the best humor of Tokyo Revengers through these subtle expressions. Chifu entered the shop a little late, but he keeps an eyes on Ryusi. Suddenly he noticed he's eats way too much. So he don't wanna lose to him, he also orders extra portions. He thinks if he eat more than him, it'll make him the vice captain of First Division. But he couldn't. Chifu went to the washroom so soon after eating. After this, it is revealed that Ryusi knew from the very beginning that Chifu was following him. So he asked the shop owner to pretend that he was giving him an extra portion. But basically Ryusi didn't eat any extra portions. Ryusi cunningly enjoys whenever Chifu is scared or in a distressed state. After this, Chifu once again managed to find out where Ryusi is. He is so desperate to expose his true nature to Baji. But this time Ryusi went to a hospital. He has a nervous look on his face. And he entered one of the room and put flowers in that room. When he was about to leave, someone started to talk to him. He says that someone brought flowers for him every day while he was rehabilitated. But he didn't know who he was. Now, he finally found out who that person is. Then Ryusi turns around and talked to him. He is one of First Division members and he's the one who was injured by Yagyo Doji gang. He says that they came to apologize him for what they did to him. We know that Chifu also wants to destroy that gang. But Ryusi went alone ahead of him and destroyed 20 members of that gang alone. Also we can see that how aggressive he is in this panel. However, that guy say thanks to Ryusi. But then, he says that he didn't got angry because of what happened to him. But Ryusi have no one but other than him to talk about football. Because he is passionate about that game. So Ryusi just makes fun of him. But it's also obvious that Ryusi got angry because they attacked one of his member. Everyone knows that. So that guy says, everyone in the First Division look up to you, and you're worth being a vice captain. This panel literally looks so good. We can see Ryusi thinks about something, and that thing bothers him. But that guy was so proud of Ryusi. But on the other hand, something is literally going on Ryusi's mind. He has some other plans going on. Meanwhile, Chifu was listening to all these. He still thinks how annoying Ryusi is, as his opinion about him still didn't change. While they were talking, suddenly the cat from the starting of the story entered the hospital room. Yeah, it's Chifu's cat Excalibur. That cat is very attached to Ryusi, and he also likes that cat too. After seeing this, Chifu entered the room. Chifu says that the cat used to be a stray. And he had bad experience with humans. Which is why he won't be intimate with a bad guy. Since Chifu has been taking care of that cat since childhood. So he knows that. So because of that cat, Chifu thinks Ryusi isn't a bad person. Suddenly Ryusi says that he's the owner of this cat and called him with a different name. Instantly, Chifu got pissed off and warns Ryusi to not give him a name without his permission first. While both of them were arguing about who's the real owner of this cat, Baji entered the hospital room and hit them both of them hard on their heads. because they're shouting inside a hospital. Baji came to visit the Toman member, but he also left instantly. And Baji and Ryusi were talking about another gang that wants to mess with Toman again. They're saying it'll be a great fight, and both of them are so serious about this. They plan to hold another meeting regarding this matter soon. While Chifu was overthinking, he felt he was out of place there. Cause Baji was only talking to Ryusi. But Baji also wanted Chifu to be a part of this plan. So he got excited about this fight. Well, at the end of the chapter, that cat is shown to be attached with Baji as well. Baji says he has named the cat as Peak J. And Chifu and Ryusi are so shocked. They did not know anything about it, and they're literally confused. Baji says this cat always comes to his house to play sometimes. So this is where the chapter 3 ends. Also, the interesting fact is that, in the main story, Chifu's Thousand Winter Gang logo was also based on Peak J. This name was given by Baji to that cat. Funny thing that Chifu accepts this name, but not the one that was given by Ryusi. Even though, in the original story, Takemichi changed the gang's name to Toman Second Generation. But that scene was so funny. This is the reason behind his actions, why he wants to use the Peak J logo in their uniforms. Anyway, I'll continue to talk more about this series. If you're interested, let me know what you guys are thinking. However, if you guys like this video, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.